Hello book nurse, today I'm gonna be embarrassing myself. So, hello everyone, my name's Gabby and today I have a weird video. It could be really good, it could be really bad. Basically, I am in my childhood home. I moved out of here when I was 16 years old. So I had a little look-see-loo on my bookshelf and like it's just such a time capsule and it makes me happy to look at it, although it's probably quite embarrassing. And I thought, why not do like a little bookshelf tour, but it's my childhood bookshelf that has a lot of embarrassing things on it, and we could just have like a chat. I'll walk you through the books. I'll show you the bookshelf, but really it's in a really awkward spot to film, so I thought like I'll just like take out the book and show you. Let's go through my childhood bookshelf, shelf by shelf, and I'll take out all the series I have and talk about them and my memories, and like you can find out what I read when I was like 14 years old. So like I said, probably embarrassing, but I think it's gonna be a fun video. Hopefully you think so too. So right off the bat, I think my sister went through my bookshelf and took some of the books, which is fine. It's fine. I don't even live here, it's okay. No, I'm joking, it's fine, but I am missing some. So, oh well, we'll see what we have. But first off, we're starting strong. The first book on my bookshelf is, well, it's the whole series of Twilight. It's missing the first book because, like I said, I think my sister has it because I don't know where it would be. And the Bree Tanner book, which I definitely 100% have, so like, yeah, she must have stole it, but it's the Twilight. If you don't know what Twilight is, I don't know what to tell you. Like, what are you doing here? I think all of us were in love with Twilight at some point. I mean, maybe you were more reasonable than me, but I was like really into this. I read the first, maybe I watched the first movie, then read the first book, I think. I don't even remember. And then just like read all of these so many times. I mean, look at them. And they're so shiny because I put, oh no, I didn't know this one. They're so shiny because I put like protection paper over them so that they would stay nice. And then my mother thought it would be fun. Well, okay, so anyway, I had my birthday party, right? And there was a lot of little kids sitting on one bed. And the bed broke. The leg literally broke under all of our little teenage bodies. I'm not even teen. We were like 12, I don't know. And my mom thought, you know what? Let me use books to prop up this bed. And she thought, why not use Twilight for it? But it's okay because it's new moon, it's garbage anyway, so I was fine. I was like, I am so mad at you, but at the same time, it's new moon, so I forgive you. But yeah, now it has this indent thingy. I don't know what to tell you about these. I was a teenage girl. I love Twilight. It is what it is. Then I also have The Host by Stephanie Meyer, and I'm actually not even ashamed of how much I love this book. So this is my English version, but I also have a version in Polish, and it's like way bigger as well. And I love this book. I read it every time I'm here. I didn't read this time, to be fair. I cry every time I read it. I for sure read at least 4 or 5 times. I just think this book is fun. It's beautiful. It's sad at the end. It makes me cry every time, and it's just all around a good time. I was so happy when I found this like secondhand English version because like there's not that many in Poland I can buy. Yeah, it was a good time. I love The Host. I read it before the movie came out, and like I'm telling you, it was such a hoot. So that shelf is basically my angsty teenage vampire phase, because all the books are basically about vampires. So I also have the Vampire Diaries. This is book 1. I think it has multiple books here. It has 3 books in it. This was garbage. I remember reading this and hating it so much, thinking it was literally like so badly written and made no sense. So at least, you know, it had some sense. Yes, I like Twilight, but I thought Vampire Diaries was garbage. Although I've seen all of the show, I watched literally all of it. But yeah, that was so bad, I remember. Then we have A Vampire Academy. This is the first book. I don't think I've read more than the first book. Again, I didn't like it. I'm sorry, but I just did not like it. I thought it was creepy how much older the love interest was, or maybe I had kind of liked it, but I didn't like it enough to finish it. I'm looking at all of these covers. I'm just thinking we came a long way as a society. It's only been like 10 years, but like a long way. really long way. Anyway, yeah, I kind of thought the movie was fun. Then I'm actually curious if you guys remember this one, because I feel like it wasn't as well known. So basically, it's this series. I don't know the name of it in English. I think it's called House of Night by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. So this one, yeah, if you directly translate it, it says House of Night. But this one it's about this girl called Zoe, who's a normal teenager, but one day she becomes branded and she has to go to the House of Night. Then she needs to undergo the transition into an adult vampire. And she tries to find herself in this new world. I remember really liking these. They had so many of these books. I don't even own the other ones, but I read them. I didn't finish the series, I don't think, because it kept coming out as I stopped being an adult. But like, I'm sorry, what is this? What is this cover? Oh my god, it's tragic. But I thought these were really fun when I read them. I remember being really into them. They were very angsty, but like, really fun. Okay, then we have another one that actually someone might recognize, and it's the oh my god, what was it called? Beautiful Creatures? Yeah, Beautiful Creatures. Where's my first one? Seriously, did she take all of my books? Yes, these are the Beautiful Creatures books by Cam Garcia and Margaret Stoll. So if you don't know this one, it's like a story about this boy who meets this really cute girl, and she turns out she's like a witch, and all of the witches in her family turn evil, so she has to not turn evil by the time she was 16. I remember really loving the first one, and then like I kept reading and it just kept losing its way. Like it was about a completely different thing at the end, so I was like really confused where we were going with it. I never finished the series, interestingly, but I did think the first one was really good. I didn't like the second one, and I really didn't like the third one, I think. The next book I have for you is so exciting. So this is Laurel's Wings by Aprilyn Pique. I don't even know if this... Oh my god, in 2019 the Walt Disney Company bought the rights to this novel and gave Miley Cyrus the main role. The movie will come out in 2011? That didn't happen. So this one was about a girl who found out she's like a pixie or like a wings type of thing. I remember she grew wings and stuff. It was really cool. I really liked this one. I read this one. I read the sequel as well. I thought I had the sequel, but again, probably stolen. And I think there was a trilogy. I didn't finish it. I can't believe they were gonna make a movie and they even put it on the freaking book and it never happened. Can you imagine Miley Cyrus as the main one? Oh, too much fun. Anyway, then we have Uglies by Scott Westerfield. So this book is, they kind of made it uniform how you look. So they found the beauty, like ideal, standard, whatever, the perfect proportions, all of that. And now everyone has to look like that. And I think it's about people who are like pushing against that and like basically want to stay how they looked in the first place. Oh yeah, Hallie can't wait to turn 16 and become pretty. 16 is the magic number that brings transformation from a repellent ugly into a stunning, attractive pretty. So I remember my cousin, who's French, said that she was reading this in English like years before I even picked it up, and she told me the premise, and I was like, bloody hell, that sounds so good. And like, it does still sound good, and I remember kind of liking it. It wasn't my favorite, but I read, I think, the second book as well, and it was pretty good, and I was really happy when I found it. Next up we have Zoo City by Lauren Bukes. I have no clue what this is about. This was in my phase, I find cheap books and I buy them. I bought this for 9 zloty, which is literally less than £2, and I was like, oh, what a find. And then I bought it and never read it. So that was money well spent. It's an urban fantasy with elements of thriller, sci-fi, and magic. Doesn't even sound good. I don't know why I bought it. I just spend money. And then we have A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. Okay, so I remember I read A Court of Thorns and Roses in an ebook, and then I read A Court of Mist and Fury as an ebook as well. And I read them before this one came out, and I don't like A Court of Thorns and Roses, but I think A Court of Mist and Fury is a really good book. And then I was like, oh my god, I must read the last book. And then I did, and it was bad, and I bought it and for nothing. And I was like, whatever, you're staying here when you can't hurt me. I'm not taking you to England with me. First half of that shelf is pretty much my Harry Potter shelf. So these are all of my Harry Potter in Polish. So I do now own them in English as well. But when I first read it, I was probably, God knows how, 12, I don't know. And I read them all in Polish. This one's missing the third books again. I think my sister took it. Why would she just take random books from random series, not even in order? Weirdo. Anyway, I definitely have it though. Oh no, it's the second book that's missing. Anyway, that's my collection. Yes, they're all different lengths. They're all different hardback and softback. I didn't care about these kind of things before. Like, I just, for the first time I read it, my uncle lent them to me, so I read it like that. And then I just needed to have a series. Actually, funnily enough, the last book was the first one that my dad bought for me, before I even read all the other ones. Yeah, I was 10. Oh my god, so I read them when I was 10. So I read it so this one, first one came out, my dad bought it for me, and I decided to read the whole series. My uncle lent them to me because he was like a really big Harry Potter fan. And then I just kind of bought them randomly. Like the fifth one I got from my uncle, my other uncle, or my aunt actually. But they're so cute. They're all like the same as I think British. We have British covers like this as well. And then I also own the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them book, which I thought was adorable. Probably not worth the money, but like they're adorable. Then my sister also got me I don't actually know what it's called in English, but it's her like thriller novel, and I just never read it. I don't know why. I probably should have, but now I don't want to read anything by her, and I didn't read it when I got it, so oh well. Then we have the Hunger Games trilogy. So the first book, Hunger Games, then the Catching Fire and Mockingjay. I think that was actually not bad looking. Like, I feel like some Hunger Games look all... Oh my god, these two don't match. I literally did not give a shit back then. I was like, whatever, matches, doesn't match, who cares? We're here to have a good time. And you know what we did? I love these books. I didn't realize how small they were. And I now have an English version as well. They were fun. They were good fun. No regrets. This is probably my most random collection, I guess if you want to call it that. So these are all my Cassandra Clare books. And okay, so I read all of Mortal Instruments as an ebook, and then also all of Infernal Devices as an ebook. And then I was like, well, now these are so big, I want to read them physically. So I bought these two, and I have Lady Midnight, but it's back in England, so probably I should bring it here and save up some space. How bloody big are these? Like bigger than my head. And then I also have the Bane Chronicles, so that was fun. I just love Bane. I forgot how big writing is on this anyway. And then I also have Shadowhunter Codex. So you see, young me bought all the useless crap. I mean, I thought it was fun, and like, I used to get really obsessed and buy everything and like make it match, and didn't even care if it matched. I just wanted it. So things changed. I probably wouldn't read things like that now, like the codex or whatever, like I don't care. But back then I did. So now we're moving away from my series shelves, and these are more like random things put together. I think it was meant for this third shelf to be a contemporary shelf. So we'll see what I have here. So the first book is My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. So I remember reading this, I think. It was kind of cute. I found it in a second-hand bookstore in Poland in English. Favs water, which is £1. How good of a steal. So this one we follow a girl who was born because her sister needed like organs, basically. I think she has a type of cancer, and then her mama had another child and the child is a really good match. So she's being kind of used like an organ dispensary. Then we have Mark, the Book Thief by Mark Zusak. Never read this book. I heard it's good. Heard it's about a girl from 1939 Nazi Germany. She's 9 years old, and this is, I think, from the perspective of death, which is like, oh my god, it has like multimedia element to it. How cool. Pictures. How cool. Never read it, so I wouldn't know, but I heard it's a really good book. Then we have On the Comet by Angie Thomas. So this is from the author of The Hate You Give. And I remember buying this book. So in my third year of uni, so like 2 years ago now, I went to Hong Kong for 9 months as an exchange program. And it was lots of fun, but I had to have long distance with my boyfriend. And I remember like I came back to see him, or maybe for Christmas, I think. And I was like so bummed on the airport saying goodbye to him. I was like, how about some book therapy, and book buying therapy? So I went to the airport shop and I just bought this, and I think maybe another book as well, but I don't remember which one it was. So yeah, I just read this. I was like, I don't know, it was really good though. On the come up is about a 16-year-old Brie who wants to become a rapper because I think her father was a rapper, and it's about her kind of trying to succeed. Pretty good book. I really enjoyed it and I would recommend it actually. I think this is another one I bought there. So this is A Stardust by Neil Gaiman. So this one is a book about a boy who promises this girl that he'll get her a star because he wants her to marry him, and then the star turns out to be a chick, and it's a romance. I really love the movie. I think the movie's so adorable, so I bought the book to like read it. I remember kind of thinking it was cute. I didn't like it as much as the movie. I think it had more charisma in the movie, but it was still kind of adorable and I had a good time with it. Oh my god, so this is Anne of Green Gables by Lucy Maud Montgomery. This is like a copy I've got, like, probably have had this literally since I was like 7 years old. How adorable is that? I love it. It's not like the prettiest cover, but it's not that bad either. And like in Poland, the hardback is usually printed on, so it's not like a separate thing like in England. So yeah, I remember really loving this one. My best friend, it was used to be her favorite book, so I was like, I have to write it. Oh my god. This is the Winnie the Pooh by A.A. Neilney. Oh my god, this is such a cute, I love how I was so protective of it. I put it in this plastic. Oh, it's so adorable, and it has like images inside it and stuff. Oh, Winnie the Pooh, I loved it so much. I remember my mom reading this to me. I actually remember not liking it written like this. I had Yahoo's illustrated version, and I loved that one. So, but I had to read this one for school. I legit might have had this since I was like 7 years old because I had to read it for school. Okay, this was Confessions of Georgia Nicholson by Louise Renison. So this book is a like a young adult contemporary novel. It's told in diary entries, and it's about Georgia Nicholson who's like trying to find herself basically, and she's a mess, and it's so much fun. It's got humor, everything you want. This was the first book I ever bought in English. I bought it in a used bookstore. It doesn't have a price on it, but I could not have been a lot. And it has the first however many, 6 books, I think. Yeah, 6 books. So this was so much fun. I love this book. I need to read it. I feel like I just laughed so much, and probably most of it went over my head because I barely even spoke English, or like enough to read it, but not enough to probably get all the innuendos and shit. So like it was adorable. Then we have my phase of let's just buy things on the book depository. The Dark That Remembered Day by Tom Fowler. I don't remember what this is about. When Stephen gets a phone call to his mother isn't well, he knows he must go to the straight away, but he dreads going back there. Blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I read it like 2 summers ago and I hated the shit out of it. It was so bad. So yeah, there you go for buying without thinking. Then we have If I Stay by Gail Forman. So this book is about a girl who gets in an accident and kind of her soul floats up, and she has to decide if she wants to stay alive or die because her whole family died in this car accident. So she knows if she wakes up, she's going to be an orphan. So she thinks maybe I should just move on with my family. Beautiful, heartbreaking. I cried loads. I remember really loving it. Then we have Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. So this is my Polish edition. I now have an English edition. I tried reading it in Polish and hated it. Really hated it. But then I read it in English recently, and like I love that book so much. It's just so precious. So I only got to page 112 because I still have a bookmark. Yeah, I remember hating it, but I love the book now. I love it so much. It's just such a good book, and the movie and the TV show, I love. Then we have A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. Another favorite. I read this. I think I got it for Book Depository. That's how I used to get my books. But this one is about a boy who gets visited by a monster, and the monster's like I'll help you, or like I'll give you a wish or something, but you have to answer 3 questions or something like that. And this book is so beautiful, makes me cry, makes me sob, makes me wail, whatever. I love it so much. It's such a good book. I would highly recommend it. It's just so beautiful. This video is gonna be so long, it's not even funny. Okay, so the next book is The Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell. I never actually ended up reading this. I think it's like a sci-fi with multiple lives and stuff. I don't know, I heard it was okay, but nothing crazy. And the movie as well was like pretty much this is Size 12 is Not Fat by Meg Cabot. Size 12 is definitely not fat, but okay. Anyway, never read this one, but it's by the author of The Princess Diaries. Any books I never read? Awkward. So this one's Starter for 10 by David Nichols. So he was the author of One Day, which I loved, and I never read this one either. Then we have P.S. I Love You by Cecilia Ahern. So this one is, I think it's about this guy who finds, does he find literally like a letter in a bottle and answers? I think so. I remember quite liking it, but like, listen, the reason I read all of these middle-aged women books is because those were the only books in English available in my secondhand stores. So I could not be picky. I picked up anything and everything they had, and then never read some of them, and then read some of them and was like, I'm definitely not the intended audience for this book. Okay. Wonder by PJ Palacio. I love this book. It's about this boy who has some physical deformities because of how sick he's been and how many operations he's had. It's about him finding friends. I think his name's Augie, and he moves to a new school and makes friends, and it's adorable, and everyone should read it, and it just got beautiful messages in it, so I loved it. Oh my god. So this is Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. So in Polish, its name's just Charlie, because I think Perks of Being a Wallflower is like impossible to translate. Wallflower is just not a concept or a word, so it would be really hard to. Why is this wet? It's literally like dried up, and like, I love this book too much. I just read it so much. This was like my all-time favorite book at some point. I don't know if it still is. I need to read it. I have it in English as well, so it's cute that I have it in 2 languages. Oh my god. So I don't know the English name, but it's called Oscar and Mrs. Rose. So I found this one time in English, and it was... This book is by Eric Emanuel Schmidt, and it's about this boy who is in a hospital and his nurse, and oh my god, when I tell you I sobbed like a little baby, I can't even think about it. It's such a beautiful book. On the Am I a Middle-Aged Woman of what age 12, well, probably like 15. Anyway, this is Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. It's about this chick who feels like she needs to find her meaning of life. So she goes to Rome, India, and Bali, and eats, prays, and loves, and it was okay. Like, I had a good time, but I don't know. Oh wow, okay, so I bought this one on Book Depository. It's Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov, and I thought this was a beautiful cover, and I want to read this book one day. I still haven't. It's from a perspective of a pedophile falling in love with a child, so I'm just like, I know it's a classic, but do I actually want to read it? But then look at the cover, it's so pretty. So I don't know, maybe one day. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. So this book is about this little town where a black man gets accused of raping a white woman, and it's about the trial and also about this little girl Scout. I loved it when I read it. I don't know how aware I was of like stereotypes and all of that. I just kind of liked it. I read it probably when I was maybe 16, 17 for school. So actually this was one of our required reading for English, IB English. I really liked it when I read it, but I don't know if I could like provide you with any critical theory right now. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by R.L. Stevenson. Wait, what? Oh yeah, it is. Okay, I read this as a sample. I did my IB extended essay on this book, which is shocking because how small it is, but I actually had such a great time reading this book. I really liked it, and I also read, what did I read? Frankenstein for that essay as well as my supplementary reading, and I had so much fun writing that essay. I wrote it in 24 hours, no, in a weekend. It was just Saturday and Sunday, and it was due on Monday. Wrote the whole thing. I googled it. It had some, apparently it's a gay metaphor, so I was like, cool, there you go, it's definite. I actually don't know, what did I actually write it about? It wasn't about like it being a metaphor for gayness, but I think it's just like some kind of analysis of it, and that was a part of it, because like the red door symbolizes something. I vaguely remember that. The whole weekend is just like a fever dream of me trying to be like, what can I say that will actually make sense? So yeah, good time. Okay, we continue with the theme of randomness, but it's more fantasy random, so hopefully it'll be good. Some thrillers, I have no clue what I was doing. But anyway, it's The Crown's Game by Evelyn Skye. This book is way too big, what the hell? So in this one, I think it's about two magicians who have to compete for the right to have magic. Which now sounds like Night Circus. But I never read Night Circus, so I don't actually know how similar they are. I really like this book. I bought this on Book Depository just as it came out. Didn't read it for years, and then I read it like 2 summers ago maybe, and I thought it was a really decent book. Actually, I want to read the sequel. It wasn't like mind-blowingly good, but it was good. So this is a book by a Polish author called Artur Domosławski, and it's Wykluczeni, and I don't actually know if I actually read this. 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. So I read this before the TV show came out, and I really liked it. I have to say, I now understand all the problems with it and the suicidal kind of ideation, and how the idea that other people made you do it is really unhealthy, and the fact that this was basically revenge suicide, how it's really, really harmful to young people. Yeah, I didn't know any of that when I read it for the first time, which must have been when I was like 17, maybe 15. I don't know what year this came out, but yeah, I understand all of that now, but I didn't really understand it when I read it, and I actually thought it was good. I mean, it's definitely handled differently than the book, the show as well, so maybe there's that. Okay, then we have One Day in December by Josie Silver. So this book, I think it's about these two people that see each other on a bus, and the girl kind of like, oh my god, he's so hot, I need to go talk to him, but the bus rides off and she's on the bus, and then they meet again, but the guy is girl's best friend's boyfriend. I don't remember if I liked this. I think I did. I think I liked it okay. I don't think I was crazy about it. I liked the premise, but because it included like sneaking behind the best friend's back, it really rubbed me the wrong way. Oh, Nick Hornby, Funny Girl. Never read this. But I thought it was it like Funny Girl from the movie with the girl, and maybe it was, but I don't know. That made no sense. You know the girl, the actress, Rachel Berry always sings. She sings Raining on My Parade. I thought it was maybe based on that, but I don't actually know. Then we have Two Tunnels by Roger Gordon and Brian Williams. This was about this teenager who finds these like super deep tunnels into the world, I think. And I kind of liked it, but I don't really remember much about it. And I don't know if it was like a big thing everywhere or just here. Then we have Stone Cold by CJ Box. How did I even buy this? Must have been secondhand. Never read it. Then we have my Percy Jackson collection, and it's the most random thing you've ever seen. So I got book 1 and 2 from the library, and I loved it. I read it within 2 days, 1 day each, and I loved it so much. I needed the next book, and the library didn't have it, so I went and bought it. But I only bought 3, 4, and 5 because I don't care about continuity apparently. So now I only own the 3 last books, 3, 4, and 5. I don't own 1, 2. These are actually really cool covers. I really like them. The version I have right now in England is just not as good, but these are gorgeous covers. I don't know what type of, I think the England has these covers as well, but I just had a really hard time finding them, and I found really cheap version, and it was really ugly. It was more like this. So this I got this in a Polish store. They had a English section, and this is the second book, The Sea of Monsters. So I was gonna start collecting them, but then why did I choose these hideous ones? And then the ones I actually bought were not much better, so you know what. Okay, now we're entering a bit of a random section. So this is Anna Covered in Blood, I guess you translate it. It's by Kendra Blake. I think this is about a boy who meets this ghost called called Anna, and she's like covered in blood. I remember really liking this book, but I don't know much about it other than I liked it when I read it. Stonehenge, I never read it. I was fascinated by Stonehenge though, since watching that show where Stonehenge, like the rocks bleed. I don't know if that's like a common thing, but I think it was a British show. Oh my god, I watched that show when I was a kid, and since then I've been like fascinated by Stonehenge, but I never actually had that one. And then we have Alex Barkley, Blood Runs Cold. I don't remember reading this, but I might have, because like, you know, it's just a thriller, so I might have read it. Then we have the Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. I definitely read that one. Definitely loved it. It's about this guy who is a cryptologist, so he knows like all about like secret symbols and shit. Was it that Da Vinci got stolen or something, and he helps solve it? It's really good. That one and Angels and Demons are definitely Dan Brown's best. I went for this crazy Dan Brown kick where I read all of his books, and then by book like 4 I realized he has a formula and he does not stray away from it, and pretty much every single twist was just the repeat of twist. Like it was just so formulaic that every single chapter pretty much corresponded, and I just knew what was going to happen, so I wasn't really into it anymore. They have Robin Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. It's in English as well. I've never read this. I don't know where the freak that came from. Oh my god. Okay, so this is 3 Meters Above Heaven. I don't know if that's the English title, but this is by Federico Mocchia, and this one is about this girl who meets a bad boy and he changes her whole life. My bloody hell, I've watched that show with my cousin and cried and cried and cried, and then I read the book and probably cried as well, don't even remember. You have to read it if you've not. I think it's translated from Italian. It's such a good book. And Playing James by Sarah Mason. Never read it, don't know what it's about. I have so much random shit here. So the last shelf is pretty much filled with like anything that I didn't know where to put. I just put it there. And also my mom's like belts are there, so I don't want to like dig into it. So I just pulled up a couple books that I thought would be fun to talk about, and we can wrap up this video because I think it's going to be really long. So I have Karolcia by Maria Kruger. I used to think that this was Caroline, and then I realized it is not Caroline. I don't actually know what this was about. I think it was about this girl that had like a magical gem or something. Okay, I'm not actually sure, but I think this might be what I used to cheat in middle school. I think it's a cheat sheet. How embarrassing. Oh my god. I swear I didn't cheat. After middle school, I never cheated, okay? Just middle school. I mean, who cares anyway? This is The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien, which hits my cheat sheet. He would not be proud, I do not think. That makes me think that actually, so I borrowed this from my aunt. If I have the second book, that means I read the first book, but I didn't think I've ever read it. Then we have Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi. So this is the Polish cover, if you were ever interested. Pretty random, okay. Yeah, I love this one. I read it. I didn't like the first book that much, but then when Warren becomes more important. Kill Me. It's about this girl whose touch kills. So if she touches someone, she kills them. Ah. So this is the Sisterhood of Traveling Pants. I think that's what you call it. This is the first book and the second book, and I do not have the third one apparently. It's basically about this group of girls that are best friends, and they go like separate ways over the summer. Some of them go to the camp, some of them visit family, whatever. So they send each other these pair of jeans and like ride on them and embolden them, because magically this pair of jeans fits all of them, although they're like different heights and different weights, all of that, and that those jeans like stay with them as they travel. This one had nothing on it, but this one had like writing and shit, and I thought that was the cleverest thing I've ever seen in my life, because you know it changed over the summer. This is that was so clever. I really love these books. I thought they were so cute. I probably read this when I was like 9 or something, really long ago, but it was so much fun, and I like the movies as well. I think it weren't as good as the books, but they're fun. And this is such a random thing to finish on, but it's called Posers by Rachel Mode, and this one, I think it's like about 4 girls in a high school, love fashion, hate each other. They have to band together to make a new fashion brands. It probably messed up my perception of women and their worth, but oh well, it was a fun time. Okay, well, thank you so much for hanging out with me, walking down this memory lane. I had a lot of fun. I really hope you did too. You did too. I know this was pretty random, but like, I don't know, I feel like it was fun talking about all these books and like my memories of them. I probably didn't talk about all of them extensively, but that wasn't the point of the video. I don't even remember anything. I just wanted to have a chat. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, let me know that you enjoyed it, and also share all of your favorite childhood favorites with me. I would love to know. I mean, it was so fun and angsty and whatever to be a teenager and a middle schooler. So yeah, I had loads of fun. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, if you could comment, like, and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. But that's it for me, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!